That was a come on.
No, I feel tall now.
Huh?
There's stuff still everywhere I go.
So Brandon,
Yes.
at 7:30 we do have a public hearing.
Okay. You want to talk about step stool, Tabitha? My wife got after Beckett the other day. She made him go stand 2 stairs down so she could be nose to nose with him to.
Relative? No.
You'd think that the cosmic just for a daughter, I could get a haircut.
Can't squeeze you in.
Well, we've been going to do it every night for about the last 10 days, and it just hasn't worked out.
Feel like we're at the dentist office.
No.
I know, it's so quiet.
Yeah.
Normally we're not all just here ready.
Court.
Court, he's on trial.
Yeah.
Normally we're scurrying till the last minute.
Seven o'clock.
7 o'clock. All right, well, we will. Meeting order. Would you please join me in the pledge of allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you please take roll?
Councilman Messon?
Here.
Councilman Montoya?
Here.
Councilman Britt?
Here.
Councilman Ray?
Here.
Mayor Graves?
Here. You have before you an agenda that I do not believe there's any changes to.
I have to remove number 2 from petitions, memorials, and proclamations.
Remove number 2.
Okay.
Right, well, I stand correct. We now have an amended agenda in front of you.
I'm gonna use my good pen. Move to accept the agenda with the noted change.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Moving on to the consent agenda. And for the purpose of discussion, I would entertain a motion to approve as to record the consent agenda items.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there discussion? one, but I think I figured it out.
I assume, Candy, this was to update a large number
Yes,
of answers.
we had a formula error.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A little, quick little simple math that kind of didn't jive real quick there. I guess since I asked you one second one now, are we close to approaching the hangar owners with the airport process, or where are we?
We're still looking at leases. The airport board sent last week their suggestions. And so I need to get with Josh and we gathered some other leases from other similar airports, some not so similar.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Hey Candy, I did have a question. Holiday Inn Express and Suites, what was that for?
That was when the firemen went to their annual convention. Fire-
Is there any further discussion?
Yeah, one question for Chief Willitson. Last time we had a complaint with chickens holding the ground, maybe you and Andy holding the ground and expired plates up in Black Mountain.
Yep, so we checked on the chickens and there wasn't much we could do with the chickens. He was upset that they didn't get a building permit, but they just put up a couple boards for him to sit on. So I don't think a building permit fits there. And then it kind of changed, a couple tires sitting around with some stale water in it. Maybe mosquitoes were breeding in there. We handled it. We talked to him. We also conversed with Mr. Weaver. And went back and forth, did what we could, advised them what they could do as neighbors with each other and try to handle it.
Oh, okay.
As far as the it's other, yeah, we've been working on it, marking abandoned and speaking to them to take care of their vehicles and get them moved.
Cool, thank you.
I guess I did have one question that
Popped up as I was reading through the vouchers. You have one $1,600 for Atlas Automation to update firmware on the water tanks.
So the software on the Twin Towers up there, we just had some community issues with the software.
Usually those are included in your license agreement. You shouldn't have to pay for them.
Yeah, I don't remember the details on that one, but we had looked into what the warranty was and what the software had covered. Rick could answer that better, but this was not covered.
Maybe when we do the purchase, you can look for those, make sure they're in there.
I'll find out more and then I'll send you this email.
I think that was ongoing, wasn't it?
Andy, what's the 11th Street sewer replacement?
That was it was, when you had done the spreadsheet with those like 3 sewer projects, that was the one. One of them, it was like Maple Street, it was like,
Couldn't do because it was kind of unknown or too long or.
we're just we're using that American Rescue Plan funds, so it's in process, it's being engineered now, so we moved that into a project for this.
That was when we didn't think we could just dig up a spot.
Yes, it's too much, it was a main,
Solid whole block. Okay.
yeah, we'll have to contact that one.
Is there any other discussion on the consent agenda? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion will carry. Moving to petitions, memorials, proclamations, and public comments. Item number 1 is the update from Ruth on the lodging tax board.
Yeah, that'd be great. So I brought it updated. I know you sent these to Candy, but we didn't.
Oh, thank
There is cups in there. So.
you. I was thinking.
And a water bottle, but no vodka. Not tonight.
You didn't have to do that.
But we want you guys to
Could be
see
Crown
what we've
Royal.
been.
I like it. It's kind of cool.
Very nice.
Thank you.
And for those of you who don't know me, I'm the executive director of the chamber, Shauna.
Oh, okay.
I'm the one who did the dashboard.
Would they like the dashboard?
Yeah, I talked to Mr. Price.
Last week.
We are ready.
So, one thing that we were trying to do is just be more transparent and reach out personally with our governing entities. And so tonight I'm going to give you some highlights. Obviously, the documents that I've handed out to you contain probably more detail just because I'm guessing I have about 10 minutes, right? So the first thing that I want to address is that the County Lodging Tax and Tourism Board is no longer going to be doing grants. What we are going to be doing instead, which has been recommended to us by our strategy team that we are working with to maximize the dollars that we have, is do marketing agreements. And what those do is increase the accountability and our control of how the funds are spent, making sure that they're spent in the right manner, which is at least 60% of a marketing agreement or grant amount fund has to be spent outside the county. As for promoting and inviting people to come to events or happenings within our county. So we're going to switch to that. It will allow us to control the money better. We can either, and we're in the process of deciding how that is going to be, whether we will handle all the money and pay vendors directly or contract with the person or organizing entity that is wanting the money and finding out exactly how they're going to spend the money and show us contracts and give them the exact amount of money which has been contracted. We feel that in this way that it's going to control some of the problems that we've dealt with over the past years. We've tried to unleash cotton ball, so to speak. So,
And that 60% is state statute. It's not something that we came up with.
So over the past 12 months, prior to the board deciding that we were going to do this, we handed out $71,388.50 in grants. Of that $71,388.50, $4,323 would be subtracted as a hybrid grant that we were trying with the Canine Classic, which is a new event, new 2-day event that's happening in Water this year. So you can see the outlay of what we've done there, and we're going to be posting all of this information on our website so the public can access it at any time. So a couple of the financial things that I wanted to talk about. You've heard over the past year that we had an audit because things were they were a mess, frankly, when we took over the board. And we could not unravel and figure out where certain monies went, how things were handled. what the process was. So we hired a professional third-party auditor to do, an investigation, if you want to call it that, but an audit of our books. And some of the concerns, again, you're going to have more detail than what I'll talk about here, but the prior board did not amend their budget to reflect the receipt and usage of CARES Act money as required by the Wyoming state statutes. That was a big problem, and our board took care of that by filing the correct documents, updating the budgets that we had, and working with Suzanne Marino at the state to make sure that we were in compliance with all of that. 1099s were never provided or sent to any of the suppliers, including the marketing executive. And that's a huge problem, because if the IRS comes back to us and audits us now, you're going back 6 years since the inception of the board, and that was never done. So this year we rectified that by just moving past it. We've sent out the 1099s that we were supposed to, short of going back to the IRS and saying, listen, this wasn't done. And, I suppose that it could happen. There's no other rectification. I don't know how to fix that. The computer that we received from the board was wiped clean, and some files were replaced. That's a hard one to overcome, because we don't know what was there before. We don't know what was not shown. And so we've just worked from literally trying to patch everything together.
Yeah, we were given a tote that had all the documents in it. And so that's what we went from trying to start over and get all the information that we needed.
So we have not been able, to that fact, we have not been able to reconcile the books to a zero balance, since there are funds that appear, or don't appear, rather. We cannot track them because of the method used for bookkeeping. To alleviate that happening in the future, we've gone and contracted with an outside bookkeeping, which will help alleviate a problem of, it'll create a check and balances system, right? So, and it also creates a consistency for the board as people come off, move on, that sort of thing. That bookkeeping and the monetary and fiscal be without question. We have rectified what we can, i.e. sending the 1099s, filing proper updated budgets, following both county and state guidelines for operation of the board, but we are limited as to what we can do or discover without having the original board documents. So we've cleaned up what we can, and we feel like we're in a fairly good position to just move forward and move past it, and just go from there. That said, while we were trying to sort that out, we were really busy putting together a lot of what we wanted to accomplish this year, and we're really proud of some of these numbers that I'm going to talk to you about now. Our new website is doing well and gaining a lot of traction for Platte County. We've had over 22,000 visitors to the website, and we average about 50 hits per day. Over 3,800 of those visits come from our social media work. Our top visited pages are Explore Outdoors and a Road Trip Adventure Pass. Most visitors are based out of Colorado, but we've also had visitors, can't talk tonight, from Italy, Switzerland, Hungary, Hong Kong, Canada, and China, as well as many from across the United States. It is important to note that the group from Italy was a direct result of our presence at International Roundup this year. We're really excited about that.
And hopefully we'll get more tour groups booking in this next year.
Yeah.
They're always booked out a year to 2 years, usually in advance. So
Since our new Facebook launch literally a year ago, we have 2,001 followers, which is more than the prior Facebook had by 700. And our highest post reached over 44,000 people. So we're excited about that. People are paying attention. We've launched an Instagram account, and we're working to get the numbers up on that. We've only been up about a month. Our billboards are up. So anytime that you come to Platte County from Rapid City, Scottsbluff, coming from Cheyenne, you're going to see billboards for Platte County. And we're getting calls, and people are responding to that, asking questions. And gosh, we didn't know that there was all of this to do in Platte County. So they're paying attention. Our newly designed and updated visitors guides will arrive later this week, and they're awesome. We can't wait to show them off and hand them out. And our newly designed airway maps will also be available later this summer. We had a problem with the supplier and had to pull the business back and then reassign the business with a new vendor. So they're running late. We wanted to have those ready earlier this year. In the meantime, we do have flash drives that we can hand out to people that come in and want to see them. So, and they're just beautiful. So We're really excited about that. It's updated. It adds some groups besides just the history people that want to come looking for history. There's outdoors adventure. It shows off each one of our communities beautifully, and we think that's really important to show off the entire county. Our media buys are showing great reach. We can reach over 1 million people with the media buys that we put in place. And we're hoping that some of those will come to Platte County. We don't need them to stay for 5 weeks. We just need them to stay for a couple days and help our local businesses out. Our road trip adventure pass, we just started that, and I would love to be able to come back and explain that to you. It is a benefit for our local residents, for our tourists that come in. They can take the road trip pass, put it on their phone. They can go to a business or to a location, gain points, and then bring those points into the chamber, and we give them a prize. So one way to keep them remembering who we are and coming back and having some fun in our communities. We will be opening a gift store that is just for Platte County Lodging Tax Board branded merchandise only, and that includes some of the stuff that we were doing for the road adventure trip.
So wait on your.
Yeah, you'll see. That's what actually the gift bag that we brought, our swag bag we brought to you tonight, contains some of the items that we'll have there, in addition to T-shirts and sweatshirts that patches and stuff still are not in yet that they can win with the road trips. So, for our near future goals, we're working on communicating more with our communities face-to-face. We are promoting bandwagon programs so that we provide positive return for the board and our local businesses. For more information, please take a look at our website. If you haven't gone to see the new website, it's really great. And it has a lot of interactivity. It features businesses in our towns. It features attraction in our county. And even like Airbnb, RV parks, restaurants, everything. It's really great. So if you haven't, please do that. We are preparing to reconcile our marketing efforts for the last year and then come up with a new media plan that will provide even more productive efficiency and results hopefully next year. We are finishing flyover videos that will show off all 5 communities and our county that will go on our website and will increase interactivity with the website and showing off what we have to offer everybody. And then, like I said, we're hoping to open a gift shop in the chamber. So for a year, I think that we're on point and doing a lot, and obviously open to suggestions and working with groups around town. So did I leave anything out on that? Nope.
You told me that visitors spend $400 to $500 a day.
International. The reason we started really hitting at our international population is I went up to Fargo, Dakota at the beginning of May to International Roundup. And what it was a great big room. They had 40 tables and it was basically speed dating. So I would sit at a table, Allie Phelps and I went, we would sit at a table, we would have our little goodies to give them, and I had a slideshow and 10 minutes to sell Platte County. And they rang a bell and we moved to the next table. And we have to remember, most of these people, their national language is not English. So we had to make sure that we made an impact on them really quick and really powerful enough that they would want to come back. So when Italy got a hold of me one night in the middle of the night, I was like, okay, it worked. So we had our first. And so, but they average between $400 and $500 a day when they come to the United States. That's what they spend. So our goal is to get them to start staying in our hotels, and that will increase the revenue for everybody in the area. So one big thing that we kept hearing over and over up there is they want to stay at a ranch, and they love Native Americans. So, which can incorporate Platte County a lot, because now the Native American stuff can be covered out at Sunrise. So putting the whole county together as one and giving it to them on a dish, that gives them to stay here longer and spend more money.
Their average stay here in the United States is about 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So if we only capture 3 or 4 or 5 days in our county, that's going to help every one of our business, from our retails to our eating establishments. A lot of them are renting RVs and are coming to stay in RVs because of the scare of COVID, and they want greater space. There is no better place for them to be than our county right now.
And I forgot to cancel because you had asked me for this, Councilman Fritz. This is a spreadsheet from the beginning of the time of when the lodging Tax Board started to now, how much money we've received every month since 2015, and then how much we have spent in our grants. And this just, most of them on the bottom will be, except for this year, our grants and visitor center. We did not combine our visitor center with grants because we're still funding those at either the full amount or even more than what had been in the past. So they normally get $12,000 for their visitor center. This year they came to us for 15, and so we did grant that. So just to kind of let you know where we're at.
Those are grants too that will not go away. Our visitor
Right.
centers, that is, we're really committed and beholden to do that for them. So
Right.
those grants won't go away. The grants I'm talking about are like league organization grants.
Right, and the state statute does state that 30% of all the money that we receive has to be spent on visitor impact, which is our visitor centers.
So do any of you have any questions for us?
Shauna, I have one of those.
Oh, yes. If you need me to send that to you in like a,
That'd be good. I was talking to Shauna about our economic health metrics, and it seemed like it'd be easy and good thing to have. It reflects people coming in, sales tax revenue.
You know, for what we're doing, just like in comparison, like Jackson Hole, I believe that their lodging tax board brings in over what, 10 million?
yeah, I mean,
And we're working with under $200,000 budget, and I think that the impact and the efforts of what we are doing, we've really created an efficient and productive way that will help everybody in our camp, all of our communities, all of our business, even though we're not business driven, all of our businesses, we want everybody to thrive. So.
I've done probably 4 or 5 different groups where they're tour operators that are interested now in Platte County through the Wyoming Office of Tourism, and talked to them and taken them around Platte County and told them a little bit of history and to show them exactly what we have, because we don't want to be just a drive-through county anymore. We're really focused on what we can offer them. And so the Office of Tourism is excited about what's happening in Platte County and working with us.
As a metric-driven person, I love this.
Thank you.
This is excellent. Keep doing this.
That's me.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's for the
That's my chamber stuff. So anything you want to see on that I'm not including?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's really good.
Thank you. I'm a data-driven person, so I like to see numbers and where I'm at, so. But if you have any questions on that, like you did today, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I don't mind. I'm sorry that I can't make it to every one of your meetings on the school board at Guernsey, and it happens to be the same time and the same night. So luckily we had an early meeting due to the fiscal year, and I was able not to be there tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Yes.
Very good, thank you.
Number 2 is a strike, so number 3 is Marty and Missy. You are up.
You got 5 minutes.
You got 4 minutes.
We can continue.
40 minutes, you said?
4.
You meant 40.
You're down to 3. You're taking too long, Shep.
I'm a little slower. I'm sorry, I didn't bring gifts. But I do feel like this is my once every other year, for lack of a better word, bitch session or complaint. Just so you can follow along with me. Can you want one of these?
Yeah, but if you don't have enough.
No, we're good. First of all, I want to thank you for entertaining Missy and I tonight to vent our frustration, I guess is what you might say. And I feel lucky enough that since Ruth is here in the chamber, I might get to vent to 2 people at the same time. So don't take it personal, but I do.
You will notice. You will notice it's moved.
We're pretty passionate about where we're at.
Yeah, it is. It's completely.
I would say.
It's under outdoor. It's not under business.
The 2 websites at the start of the handout that I gave you, one of them's the Town of Wheatland organization. When you, obviously technology today, which I am not,
But as you heard Bruce say, you know, the internet's the thing. So people are getting on there and they're Googling Platte County, they're Googling Wheatland, and they're finding, first thing that comes up, is free camping in our park. Now, we've owned Mountain RV Park for 20 or 15 years, okay? And year to date, you don't have this information in front of you, but year to date, just this year, we paid $30,010.45 in utilities to the town of Wheatland. That's a lot of money. That's just year to date. So I'm gonna guess probably $55,000, $60,000 will come into your town just from our RV park. That's expensive, that's utilities. So I'm here is you're giving away 6 free spots at our city park every night. And Missy has been doing her due diligence for the last 12 nights, and you'll see on the second page. In the last 12 days, you have 44 campers down there. 44. We had 12. And it's really hard when I see that Missy and I have to pay the lodging tax. You can read there, we pay the state sales tax. We pay 12% in tax. So we charge $45 a night. That's $5.40 we give every camper. So in our eyes, you're giving away 6 free spots. You're right. Maybe they wouldn't stay with us. Maybe they would stay somewhere else. But it's really hard to sit back and see this advertised and no one's policing it. It's three nights. If you look on your page, Missy took the time to go every night. One of them was there 9 nights, 9 consecutive nights.
They moved spots, but they didn't even come back. They just
You
moved
know,
to a different spot.
And I'm sure they don't. And that brings me to another point. I'm probably kind of wondering here. Your donations, I think, Candy just gave me a little information. For January through July, your park donation was $1,192. Your expenses was $1,125. Now, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm asking to at least look into it. I'm going to bet you those expenses, can you help me? You probably charge yourself a residential power rate because you own the company. We have to pay commercial power. Big difference.
We did small commercial.
So see, what I'm asking is for some reasonable thinking, wondering, now I'm going to point my finger at your board. You're taking my lodging tax dollars, or our lodging tax dollars. On your website, it comes up the very first thing. The very first thing. I wish you could Google it. Free
Earlier today, it was still on.
free camping, Lewis Park. Yes, the RV park is on there, but
It is on there.
clear at the bottom.
All right, we're gonna do our public hearing. Hold that thought.
We'll come back.
And I'll,
Okay.
we'll Google that and look. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to take a break from the council meeting and hold the public hearing.
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All same sign, motion carries. We are now in a public hearing.
Mayor, Loch Ness LLC filed an application for a bar and grill license for 1251 Full Street, town of Wheatland. They're unable to be here tonight, but I'm hoping I can answer any questions that anybody has. Hilltop did relinquish their bar and grill license because we're only allowed 2 within the town of Wheatland. Hilltop relinquished theirs, so that left one open. So that Loch Ness LLC is applying for that. And then
So that's just a
here,
straight across move.
Just have it
How does that work when you go from?
You can't, and we all learned this, you cannot transfer bar and grill licenses. And so as a result, when they applied for a transfer, it really had to be a new license. And then they only have so
And
many
if you click it,
Wheatland, and there's 2 of them. As a result, Hilltop had to relinquish theirs, which they did. And I think they relinquished it as of the date the sale was consummated up there.
that is correct. And then the state has not yet approved their license because we're still missing a couple pieces of documentation. So if you guys are to approve it, it'll be contingent on state approval. And a little explanation that 1251 Cole Street LLC owns the property, but Darkness LLC is the applicant that will run the business.
But it's all the same entity.
Yes. It's
I
all-
assume it's all owned by the same individuals.
Yeah. Just one on both LLCs.
Because they, on their application, liquor license application, they have a list of ownership of the LLC. Just one person.
Just the one. No partners.
No, so it's Loch Ness is a,
Is gonna be the operate the restaurant.
Bar and grill.
so then Charles is a single owner of that.
Yes.
Oh, I was gonna say.
And owning the asset, the building, property, is 1251 Cole Street LLC. It's just been a little confusing, but we've got it straightened out.
Well, I assume you covered all the bases on that. It's good to go.
If you, after you hear any public comment, if you approve it, it's subject to the state liquor license. Being satisfied with everything that they
Subject to
supplied.
Okay.
Is there anybody that would like to speak in favor or against during the public hearing of Loch Ness LLC applying for a bar and grill license at 51 Cole Street, the Old Country Club? Merlin.
I personally would like to speak for it. I would also like to speak for it on behalf of Black County Economic Development. As you know, if you've gone out to eat lately, we're a little short on variety, and to lose one of our major restaurants was definitely a blow economically. So I would speak in favor of granting the new license. Thank you.
Shauna Reichert, Executive Director at the Chamber. I would also like to ask for you to support it. I think it is a great opportunity for our community, but also looking at it from the Lodging Tax Board, the more things people want to eat at, the ideas that they're having with this is I think that it'll be a good for the community and a chance for people to, number one, it creates jobs. Number two, people spend their money locally and don't go out of town to eat. So for me, I think it's a great thing.
Anyone else? Does the council have any thoughts?
I have no qualms about this whatsoever. I think it's, again, a great thing for our community and the area, Platte County.
Any further discussion? So what is the action that we need to take? Just have
You have to make a motion to either approve it
to
or.
approve it contingent upon state
Yes.
approval?
Yes.
That simple? Okay.
I would move to make that exact motion as stated before, me contingent on the state liquor license approval.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion will carry contingent upon the State Liquor Commission. Do we need
You just go back in
to
the.
reconvene the
Yep.
regular council meeting at this time? We will close the public hearing and reconvene the regular council meeting at 7:36. All right, Marty, unpause.
I'm not sure where I was. Anyway, we're just frustrated. And hopefully you could Google that right now. Look, and we talked to Ruth. Yeah, they're trying to take it down, but it's frustrating
I'm
when
trying to take the picture.
when we donate to the rodeo club, we donate to several organizations in this community. You know, we're lifelong supporters of it. I don't think the town that RV park doesn't donate to any of them. They don't pay a lodging tax, Ruth, by the way. That's pretty sad.
Yeah.
That they give away a service and they don't pay any tax. I have to pay that tax. Every nightly person at the park, no tax. It's a donation. Candy, correct me if I'm wrong. Out of your donation, did that go to the lodging board? Doesn't make sense. You know, all I'm asking is for a fair shake. You got to have us. So now you're gonna say, well, what's your solution? My solution would be they can park there. I don't have a problem with them parking there. Take away the power. You know, people are going to come to our community because I really think the chamber and what Bruce is doing is good. They've already said, you know, the numbers are up. But we don't need to give away our services, period. They're going to come here. If they're not going to come because they're getting free nights. If they're going to come, they're coming because they can go to Guernsey, they can go to Glendale, they can fish, they can hunt. Why should we give away our services when you have a business in town?
Two businesses.
Yeah, you know, that are trying to live here, pay our taxes, support the community, give back to the community in many different ways. It's so frustrating. And then to top it all off, we don't have a planner. I think we're getting ready to hire one, but this is, to me, the straw that broke the camel's back. City Park Zone Conservancy. In your zoning and planning, that's not even allowed use. So we have a planner, we have these rules, we have these regulations. Town doesn't have to follow them. I think that's a crock of crap.
Could I interrupt?
Sure.
That park and those RVs were there before we had planning and zoning in Wheatland. It's grandfathered in just like other places like junkyards were grandfathered in. So it's legitimate and legal at this point in time.
How come the fairgrounds has to have a special use permit? It's zone conservancy.
Because they didn't have trailer parks in there, Marty, before. That's the reason.
Well,
it was never, I don't want to argue about it. I'm just telling you.
I'm not here to argue either, Doug. I'm just stating to the council members and the mayor that it's damn frustrating when you're small businesses in the community and we're competing against the municipality. I don't think that's good business. I can't think anybody in this room that would think that's good business when they own a business and they're competing against the municipality. I don't think there's one person. Last year in June, we had 95 campers for nightly people. 95. This year, we had 32. And I'm not saying they're all at the city park. I'm not saying that. Numbers are down, gas is high. I get it. But what I am asking you to take in consideration is even if we get half of those, it helps us stay in business to pay our bills, to support the lodging tax, to support all the programs that we donate to. If we're not here, we can't do that. Normally, we generate $80,000 in revenue for the town of Wheatland. It's not. I know that's not a net, but that's a gross number. That's a lot of money. I don't know.
Marty, what do
you consider?
What do you have a fee per meter? Whether
No,
it's
we
used or not?
don't, because we don't really know what each one uses. We're multi-metered up there, so there's about 6 RVs on each meter. We charge $45 a night. That includes all the tax, the lodging tax. It's a straight $45.
But I've talked to the previous owner on this. They were charged from the city a meter charge if it was vacant or filled. So that's been changed since then.
No, we're only charged. We get a meter fee every month. It's minimal. It's minimal, but then it's based on usage. But it is commercial. You know, it's a high rate. You can buy the numbers I just gave you today. This just paid our bill today, $3,200 to the town of Wheatland. That's every month.
Yeah.
Minimum.
So are you getting your cost covered with a 50 amp service, say, per night?
It's pretty minimal. And people say, well, why don't you charge more and pass that tax along? We can only charge what the market will bear in our community. You know, it can't overcharge people or they won't come.
I don't think what your business model is doesn't really matter to us. Shouldn't matter. I mean, they're questions, but the question is fair for the government to be competing with a private industry. That's the question.
And if you do that, I'm sorry, were you done? Those
I can
40,
finish later.
those 44 campers in our side would have generated us $2,000, 980. Out of that, the town gets a chunk. Those 44 campers, I really don't know what donated. Got you guys, because I'm just looking at 6 months that Candy gave me. You've only taken in $1,100 the whole year. Those 44 campers just in the last 12 days, if you were to charge them, and that's all I'm asking really, or we're asking, is just be fair. And if you're not, and then you're gonna say, well, we're supposed to have somebody police that. And I've visited with Candy, and I realize times are tough. It's tough for Wheatland. You don't have staff to go to Lewis Park and police the campground. I get it. I mean, it's all hands on deck to fix a water line or clean the streets. I get that. But if you're not going to police it, don't advertise it. You know, it says 3 nights. They're there for 9. If you're not going to police it, just take it out. Just take the power away. They can dry camp at Bumgars. They can dry camp at the country store. They can dry camp at the park. I get it. It's a beautiful spot. It's got shade trees. It's got the city park. It's got the swimming pool. You can go watch a baseball game. I get all that. But you're giving it away when we're trying to sustain a business.
We have a model now with the theater where the town owns an asset and basically hires somebody to run it. Is that a possible solution? Would you run that for us?
I guess we'd have to talk about that. I mean, it's just more work.
Yeah, you're right. Yes, it is. And just,
You know,
another option.
and that's what we're here for. I mean, I'm not, yes, as you can tell, I'm passionate and I'm upset about it. And I think rightfully so. You know, it's just, I think it's wrong. So what I would like to see is you just take electricity away. That's fine. Because they're still going to get their free water and their free sewer. You know, you've seen them down there on weekends. All the voters, they come by. It's all free. They're lined up for blocks. Yet we're giving a service away. I don't understand it. And to advertise that it's free,
I don't agree with that.
that's stings even more. So, anyway, either that or the other option is let us, you know, I have 6 free spots every month. That'd be great. I know that's being facetious, but that'd be awesome. Give us 6 free spots, you know, for power. That'd be great. Help our bottom line. So, anyway, I'll leave you with that. I'd sure like some consideration in some form or another.
I have a legal question for the council relative to this. Gotta find it. Article 15, the Constitution of the state. Let me see if I can find it. Article 15, Section 8, profit making from public funds prohibited. The making of profit directly or indirectly out of state, county, city, town, or school district money or any other public fund or using the same for any purpose is not authorized by law shall be deemed a felony.
I don't think that applies.
Well, what bothers me is indirectly. Are we indirectly collecting a profit because we
I don't think so.
don't know that we intentionally? Sure.
Well, like the expenses would include, you know, the weed eating and the, you know, all that. I mean, I could definitely, we don't track our time down there and, you know, repair on the water hydrant that people hook onto it and rip out of the ground.
And I want to address one thing. Bobby Day tries, because I've prosecuted people for spending more than 3 days down there. And if anybody had a complaint, if they'd call the police department, we'd go down there and shoo them out of there and then issue a citation. We do that with about anything that happens. But Bobby Day, I know Marty is right. They're running thin
Yeah.
and stuff. But we have prosecuted people that overstayed their welcome. And so when Bobby sees that, and I think this summer's probably been more difficult for him. But he really does try. And if people see that and we get a call, we'll either send Bobby there or the police department there. It's up to you, whatever you do, but I just want everybody to know, we've actually prosecuted those people that.
And I appreciate that, Doug. And I'm not asking you to prosecute anybody, because again, it's gonna cost the county more money, you know?
They pay me the same. I mean, we fine them, and so
So we got a lot bigger fish to fry. Let's face it, truly. I mean, there's some big issues out there, not Lewis Park.
Well, I could have called, but I just was curious how long that motorhome would sit there before.
I mean, that's a long time if they actually sat there, and I'm not disputing that.
I took pictures.
I mean, you can tell, there's nights she was very honest. There's nights that she didn't check, you know? She tried to drive by there every night. There's two
Because they're
nights.
only supposed to be there 3 nights in a 30-day period.
Well, all they do is they just move a spot, you know, and then they think they get 3 more. It's just, I can't tell you how frustrating that is. I just can't even explain it. It eats on you year after year after year. Last year, and I'm not trying to be the whiner or poor Mountain View RV Park, didn't have the outage, you know, because of COVID. That stings for the town and the businesses in this town. It stings big. You know, we rely on that, honestly, we rely on that outage to make our mortgage pay. It's not debt free, and that didn't come. So now we're trying to, you know, you can see the numbers. We're trying to compete with the town that's free, and I'm telling you, when you're a camper and you travel around, the word gets out where it's free. They don't have to advertise. It's a very tight community of people that they talk. So I've had enough of your time. I'd like for you to take some form of action. I really would. And I think the simplest is just disconnect the power.
I think, first of all, I think we just definitely need to take down the advertising to start with. I think that is a must right off the bat.
And that's easy for us to do. If you're fine with not showing camping, we can change the pictures out and take it out of the write-up. And it just shows as Lewis Park. We're not here to compete with businesses. We're here to help elevate them. My question, I guess, for all of you would be, what is the city benefiting by having the camping down there? How is the city benefiting? Because to me, it doesn't make any sense when you've got, I think it's Arrowhead and Mountain View, one on either end of town, both small businesses that we're all trying to support, and we're competing against them. It does not make any sense to me. So when Missy came to me to talk to me the other day, I stand with Marty and Missy on this, because we don't want to compete with our local businesses. We want to drive people to them. And if advertising, and I realize it's been there since I was a little girl. That sign's been there forever, but if, you know, maybe it's time that we evolve and change and change some things. There's no written rule. We have to have it, right? I mean, what benefit is it bringing the city? Because it's hurting our businesses.
That's where this is all down to, is I don't think the city's trying to make money off this.
But it's taking money away from them.
Okay,
Councilman Reyes, I don't think
let
that's.
me explain what I'm trying to say. Cities, we're definitely not trying to make money on this, but what the city's offering, and maybe it's time for a change, and you know, I'm sure we're open to that. But I think it's always been to come to Platte County. They walk. It's easy just to walk to our businesses downtown. We have all you mentioned, the baseball. They like to watch baseball. They like to walk in the park. We've got the whole scheme of things is to spend some money in the town of Wheatland. It's not, from the way I look at it, it's not for the city to make money.
No, I understand. I just was trying to figure out what the benefit to the city was in having it.
It's for our businesses.
So at that time, though, when that started, there were no RV
People
parks.
say
though.
I spent
Yeah, there you go.
$118 of fuel at Maverick. I got all these things. It's not just what they donated to the city for that electricity, or that $1,100, whatever it was. But then you look at all these reviews that we get, it's just page after page. I spent this $100, and then I went down and I spent money at Thrifty. I think that's where the whole premise is. I don't think it's for the city to make money.
I agree. But don't you think if they stayed in our RV park, Councilman Race, that they would spend that same money?
And I'm not saying that they would.
They would. I mean, they do. They go to the gas stations. They go eat.
They would. So what I'm saying, looking at this policy, I think that's, and to answer your question, the way I perceive it, it's we're not competing as a business, but maybe we are if we're taking business away from them.
Well, I think that it was relevant back when I was a little girl and we didn't have RV
We
parks.
didn't have an RV park.
Right. Now, that's why I'm saying maybe it really is time for change because
I don't think there's ever anything wrong with change. I think it'll be considered, and I'll consider it heavily and think it through. I think you have some.
I know that the board and I
Yeah.
will stand with them. We'll stand with our small businesses.
Sure.
Right, and if you'll notice that the reason that there's a write-up in our road trip venture and on our website is because we're promoting Lewis Park and everything that you can do there. It's not just free parking or free camping. It also talks about the other things that you can do there. We did make sure that it's not in the business section, like on the road trip, got little app that we have. But I do think it, as a chamber, we have to stand with our businesses, and I do understand where they're coming from. And when I met with Missy, I totally understand how that is stopping their business from coming here.
Just to ease your mind, I paid $70 a night in Spearfish, South Dakota, at the city campground.
It's damn nice though.
It's a nice.
And I'll admit, ours is a glorified parking lot. I get it.
Yeah, you know,
Bottom line is that they have the option to stay where they want to stay, but it shouldn't be free.
Yeah.
You know, they can go stay at a Hilton or they can go stay in a tent. That's their choice. But either way, they got to pay something for. It should be free.
You know, I heard about, this last year and I'm new on the council, last year, but I just, I know it's been this way forever, and just because it's been this way forever doesn't make it right. I expressed my opinion with some of my council members earlier. I don't think it's right for the city to compete with businesses here in town, and I think that's what we're doing. What I would suggest is to level the playing field, let us keep our free spots, but lose our electricity.
I'm good with that, Tony, or Councilman Monte. I'm good with that.
Tell me whatever you want.
I don't. I'm good, but I won't. Yeah, I'm not asking you to shoot the moon and close it down. And you know what? I'm also old enough to know that I'm not one of these people that thinks everything's fair. We all don't get to drive caddies. We don't all have whatever. You got to earn what you get, but you shouldn't have to earn it from against the municipality.
Well, I just think by losing electricity, we're still going to get people coming in.
Absolutely.
Like you said, people drive park or drive, all over the place.
Well, and I think it'll,
Parking lot or the
Yeah.
gas station.
So I'm going to make a motion that we keep our free spaces, but we lose our electricity.
and I think it'll stop I've seen cars down there, electric cars pulled.
I'm gonna second his motion so we can have discussion.
Yeah, it might stop that electric car use down there as well, since there are, yeah, electric cars will go down there and
We
park as
visited, there was
well.
a semi down there the other night with 6 rolls of pond liner on it, of all things, backed in there, and it's like, this isn't a truck stop, but that's what you're starting to get.
Well, it's been moved and seconded. Is there formally further discussion?
No, I've been back and forth with a lot of it here, and I think with you more or less handing out an olive branch, just saying, hey, I don't want you to plow it under. Keep it dry camping. I think that goes a long way. Saying you're willing to work out something to it. We got rid of the water and sewer, I don't know how many, not too long ago.
Well, we got rid of, there was, I think, like 12 spots with electric, and then
Yeah, cut back
increased
there.
it
with
to
water,
6.
sorry.
That was about, what, 4 years ago?
We
Five
did
years
away
It
ago.
was before I started, so 5.5 years
Yeah.
ago or something.
I was complaining then too.
Did away with the water and sewer at that time as well, other than there still was a hydrant across
Yeah.
the street in that diamond point of that grassy area,
There's still,
which it's hard to police.
yeah, because there is still water there. We had removed the
But not
water.
easy, right there, they have to.
Right.
But it's also right down the street, so.
Like Councilman Madsen said, we're willing to, like, I can't say let you keep it open, but if you just do away with the amenity, that would be extremely helpful. Because then I don't feel like we're getting gouged twice. Because guess what? It's our tax dollars covering the bill to let you camp for free. And it's my tax dollars again, or our tax dollars paying the lodging tax at ours, where you don't have to pay. So it just seems we're just getting it both ways is how it appears to us.
Well, I don't think you'll hear a lot of argument from us to do away with the electricity down there, because there are other issues with that electricity as well, with electric cars being one of them. And we did some research into it, and it's not that it's horribly expensive, but yet it's a tangible, measurable dollar amount, which we struggled with it earlier, so this might kind of be the straw that breaks the camel's back and takes care of maybe more issues than one.
I have a random question.
Fire away. I might have
Nothing
the
to do with
random
RV. But it's related to electricity. How would you feel about the town putting up electric vehicle chargers around town, downtown, that could be used for free? It takes about 90 cents to charge a vehicle.
There again, Councilman Ritz, I think it's great that we want to embrace the future, but I don't think it needs to be free.
Well,
You're not going to go to New York City, I promise you can charge your car for free.
That's
Well,
a fair
I
input.
I think you're competing, then you've got Wheatland that has all the Tesla.
You're
Competing
places
again
and,
because
like-
they have it out at the motel. I don't-
Yeah,
I
they've
think
got
it's a great
Tesla
idea
and
to
then
do
they
it,
have
but
it
I
at
don't think it should be free.
That's fair. Very good. Very good.
No.
I think you can put a meter, a credit card on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Out
I said,
there.
they're going to come to our community. There's a reason. Whether it's to pull off and get gas, whether it's pull off because I'm hungry, whether it's pull off we're going to go fishing, hunt, whatever. There's a reason. They don't just randomly, oh, I'm going to land in Wheatland, Wyoming today at 2 o'clock. There's a plan.
And I don't think a lot of them, well, I think when you see free camping, I think we'd get a lot more riffraff down there than you see. So I don't think a lot of that is just because it's free camping. Just from my observations, everything's been down there.
No, it's
For the
pretty
most
nice.
part, nice campers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't think it's just,
No, I wouldn't
think
say
those
that at all.
people would mind at all the dry camping out here too. As far as the motion that Councilman Montoya has, yeah, I have no problem with getting rid of electricity. They're gonna stay.
Yeah, like they say at Baumgart's. Same thing.
I think so. Is there any other input? All in favor of doing away with the electricity at the Lewis Park Campground, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion will carry.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
That's okay.
I was pretty frustrated. No. And I got 2 boards at once, so
What are you getting, Maria?
it was a good day.
Is there any other public comment in this section, Merlin? It's just a gentle reminder, you know.
It'll segue right into the unfinished business, the economic health and development trends. I started working on that. I updated the empty buildings and lots in town. I think that Candy sent that out to you. I did not get to the employment office, and that's on me. new job, trying to figure out what I need to do for it. So it will be there next month, and I will add tourism to the report, so I'll get a hold of Shauna and get a report for the town council on the tourism numbers, because I think that is an economic driver that's important to the city. A couple of things. Jim Miller sold his building. I talked to him, but he doesn't know he doesn't know what the gentleman in Cheyenne plans to do with the building. Equality State Farms is in the process of purchasing the, I know it is the Anderson Ford building, Wheatland Fire building, or courthouse, however you want to get it. And they hope to be operational by the beginning of school this year in August. But I think they're working out a lease with the county, but the county gets to use the offices, and they're going to start putting freezers and coolers in the warehouse part.
What was it? What was the business?
It's Equality State Farms, and what they're a wholesale company that delivers food services to schools. They're based in Equality State. What did I say? I said
It sounds like Quality State.
Oh, Equality State Farms.
I thought it was insurance.
No.
That's what I thought. Why they put freezers?
No, it's the Equality State
Okay.
Farms there. And they needed a local or a location in southeast Wyoming to break down loads and deliver to school districts in the area. Thank Marie Allison for that. She's the one that tipped them off to the building because she deals with them all the time through the school system. What else? I've been approached by Dairy Queen, the company that handles the franchises, and they've decided that Wheatland would be a great place for it, and they would be willing to assist anybody locally that wanted to start a Dairy Queen franchise. Of course, it'll be expertise only, and they'll take your money. But I agreed after visiting. I visited with the lady several times from the main office, and Wheatland could really use a Dairy Queen. We lost our Burger King. If you try to go through the line at Arby's or Taco John's at lunchtime, it goes clear out to 16th Street. We really need another fast food franchise, and big enough to attract a McDonald's or probably a Sonic. But a Dairy Queen would be a nice fit for the community.
Hence your retirement.
Pardon?
Hence your retirement. Does it have anything to do with you retiring?
No. I'm not buying a Burger King. All right, here, wait.
What was the price of the franchise?
They said you needed 400,000 working equity to get into the deal. But then you gotta buy a building and.
Or you gotta find help.
King.
You have to find help.
Yeah, you gotta clean
Burger
that
King is a
up.
great place for a Sonic.
Right, well, Dairy Queen, I hate Sonic.
Do you?
Yeah, Dairy Queens are better. I'm an ice cream freak. So, anyway, that's about really all I have. If there's any questions. Yeah, I just wanted to, I was gonna expand on that. When the park camping came up, we didn't have any travel parks in Wheatland. And it was a draw to get people to come to our community. But now we do have travel parks, since I agree with the council's decision and Marty's concerns. It's time to change it. That's all I have. Anything else?
Did your board decide to accept this role?
Yeah, we're gonna try it out and see if it'll work. See if I can do it. I'm gonna have to get together with you and see how to update those graphs and things like that. That's a little beyond my skill level. I can drive a truck or a road grader, but graphs on a computer.
What are you doing? What's your new job?
No, it's just expanding what economic development does for the town is to give a monthly report on the economic development wellness. I'm not gonna get hold of you guys to see what your occupancy rate every month is. Thanks. All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Merlin. there any other public comment at this time? If not, we will move on to unfinished business item number 1, which is the economic health and development trends. Councilman Blitz has a little bit, I think, to talk about.
I guess. So this is the chart that we've been working on, and now I've got these that I've updated and sent to you. So this is what I told you at your board meeting I've been adding to.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have the town utility users, which is our regular monthly census, still just a very small upward trend. Platte County enrollments, steep dive. School district enrollments, very steep dive. I still need to research that some more.
Both districts right now are sitting lower than normal.
Well, I mean, that's the trend over the last 4 years. Employment is down. What do I have here? Inflation. You can get national cost of living and consumer price indexes on a monthly basis. You can't get it for Wyoming. Economic Analysis Division only publishes or calculates it on a semi-annual basis. So waiting for the June data to come out, and we'll see where it goes. But it's kind of following the rest of the country. So yeah, when we was talking to Shauna today, I was like, oh, tourism, that would be a good little piece of data to add on here. And I think we've talked about it before, just taxes in general. You can have one chart that's got a number of different taxes on it.
Well, we can give you specifically for Wheatland, it comes to us, what I gave you, it isn't broken, but I can give you specifically what Wheatland is. Yeah.
We get breakdowns on each community. Yeah. And what each community provides.
I just gave you
into
what,
the pot.
I didn't have enough of these, but, this is Platte County, this one is Chugwater, Guernsey, and then this is the Wheatland area. If that's better for you.
So Merlin, I'm here for a couple weeks. I'm here for a couple weeks if you want to.
All right.
Good to go.
And Christy puts all that information in there for us.
Well, I'll ask you guys later. I got a question.
You know my phone number.
Before you guys go, if you can stay, I'd like
Oh,
afterwards. Maybe we grab Merlin and ask. I got a couple questions.
All right, we can move on to new business, item number 1, which is resolution number 6-2022, which is establishing a capital improvement reserve fund.
So during the budget workshops, we discussed river fund. It's also, will help with showing match for 60th Street project or the Black Mountain Water Tower, that sort of thing. So in the resolution, we say it will allow the town of Wheatland to set aside funds for maintenance or new construction of streets or infrastructure owned by the town of Wheatland. We didn't specifically say just, one project or another where we could use it as needed. We, after some discussing and looking things over, Tabitha and I felt that 1.5 million was a good place to start. We have the resolution where we can add to it or withdraw for maintenance or new construction. Previously we had discussed 2 million, but after looking at numbers and stuff, we were more comfortable with 1.5. And this just will allow me, I can turn this over to grant application.
Well, for the sake of discussion, move to accept resolution 6-2022.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there further discussion?
I personally, on whereas number 2, I would just delete the word streets and just say for aside funds for maintenance or new construction of infrastructure owned by the town. Don't try to calculate. I feel like we did that with the 6 penny tax. Wish we had.
Yes.
Is there any other further discussion?
And that money's, again, was coming from those monies
It's just in our cash reserves right now.
from the cash reserves. Okay. You said grant, I thought you were.
So, what it will be is it helps show that I have match money set aside for projects.
Okay, I got it.
Because some of the grant applications do not like when I just say it comes from our general fund. They want to see if there's an account, there is money for that
Okay,
project.
I got you.
To use Marty's term, we're modernizing our record keeping system.
That's a good thing.
What's the vehicle? Are you gonna just create a bank account and put it in there with
Like a
interest
CD.
CD?
Yeah, we'll
And your
just,
liquidity is a little weird.
look, we can shop around, see what our best options are.
Who seconded that? Because I assume
I
Bill,
think Tony did.
Tony did, yeah.
I assume Bill wants to amend it to
Yes.
new construction of infrastructure.
Yes.
So if Tony's okay with that, we can just move forward.
All right. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor with the noted change signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The resolution will pass. Moving on to resolution number 7-2022, which is the authorizing submission of a TAP grant application.
So this is a resolution in support of the Transportation Alternative Program. It's what I'm writing the grant for is the north section of 16th Street, sidewalk, curb, and gutter, so part of the pathway project. We'll go from Rowley to Sherrard Road on the east side, 0.62 miles.
On the east side, okay.
That's what it is, it's 0.62 miles.
Oh, 0.6. Never
Yeah.
mind.
It's
Say that again,
6.2.
Candy.
I thought you said 6.2 miles, and I'm like, boy, that's a long.
So Derringer Park to Sherrard Road. It used to be, the match was a larger requirement. It's been reduced on this funding cycle, so it's only a 9.51% match.
So this is separate, this is part of the pathway
This-
program,
yes,
so
this
if
is a-
16th Street never happens, we could still have the potential to have a pathway
Yes.
on the east side.
That's actually.
That's why I was hoping it wasn't tied in.
I make a motion to accept resolution 07-2022.
Second?
Been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion?
So whereas the governing body to set aside a minimum of the blank line then would be 9.
Oh, I put an updated resolution on
I
here.
missed that.
But there's,
Okay,
it was late.
okay, I
With
missed
the
that.
numbers.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
That's okay, when I delivered packets, I hadn't got that far yet.
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed that. So there's a number there. Okay, I got it now. All right.
And that's
We're re-
9.51% of 674, 530. Is that okay?
That's probably here in my file somewhere.
It auto calculates for me.
Oh, it does? Like the other one?
Yeah, I like that.
No, I'm good.
All right, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Resolution 07-2022 will pass. Moving on to New business item number 3, which is the Parks and Rec swimming pool. And I believe there was some information left in front of you on the table, not included in the packet.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have it.
Okay.
Got 2 papers.
And
You're welcome.
We have a leaky pump, the main circulation pump. The pump is obsolete. It's the original pump that was installed in 1981. Cody Himes up at TC Edwards has found a similar pump he believes would work. It may require a little additional fitting to put it in. I think it would be a good idea for us to have it on hand. If the one we currently have completely goes out, or best case scenarios, we can replace it after the pool season. The issue is that we didn't have it in our budget. And we didn't know about it until it started.
So that's allowed. Obviously, you have to have some fabrication done to make the pump fit.
Yeah, that's what he thinks. How much?
How long would that take? Do you know? Did he have
He
a estimation?
He thinks he can do it in a week. You know, but
A
yeah,
weekend?
a weekend. Yeah.
Which would probably be preferable to you, to have it done over a weekend rather than lose weekdays.
Yeah, swim lessons and yeah.
Well, where do we get the money?
Do some type of budget amendment or something.
General fund transfers, yeah.
So this, I'm sorry to get there, to go look at this morning, that's what I wanted to see, so you could show me exactly what was going on.
You did go?
Is this why you, no, I had to go to Cheyenne, I was gonna go with him this morning. Is this why you've been shutting down? That, you said we're shutting down for maintenance?
We have shut down for maintenance because our water quality, is it related to our water quality?
That's what
I think
it
it
is.
certainly could be. Our turnover rate on our filter is like 10 or 12 hours to filter all our water. If it's not working properly, it could take longer or not do its job. If we end up with cloudy water and the state standard is you can't see the bottom drain, you cannot be open. So it's certainly a safety concern. If our filter is not working properly, and this pump could be part of that it's not pulling enough water through because of the leak, that now maybe our turnover rate is 14 hours or 15 hours. You know, but there's other things, Donnie. We've had a lot of wind. That puts a lot of stuff in the pool. If our vacuum doesn't work correctly during the night, that can be an issue. And then we've had a lot of bathers, and people use a lot more sunscreen than they used to. I mean, people come in, they'll just coat themselves, and then boom, they're in the pool. So what we've been doing is when we shut down is we do a backwash with our filter, and that's been clearing it up.
But that same pump either circulates the system, backwashes the system, and vacs the system at night, correct?
No.
That same pump
Well,
drives all of
the
that.
filter runs 24 hours,
Right.
24/7, yes. Yes, but when we backwash, we actually shut that pump down. We don't circulate the water. We just backflow the filter to get the loosen up the sand and gravel and clean that a little bit. Yeah. But I think every time we shut that pump down and turn it back up, maybe a little more leaking. It's certainly gotten way worse from when we started.
How long will it take to get the pump in?
I do not know that, Tony. I'm not sure.
You don't know if it's a stock item or something, or he said he found one.
Yeah, it sounds like he can get it.
Give you a bid if you didn't have it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 41 years on a pump.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I mean,
That's what the original
another
people
40
said.
years
You
out
got
of
your
it.
money's worth out of it.
That's $30 a month. I mean, to replace it.
I wouldn't expect the pool to last that long, no.
How many gallons a minute does that pump flow?
It's a 15 horse pump.
I can't tell you how many, for sure, yeah.
4-inch lines, 6-inch lines, anybody?
8-inch,
That's probably
and then
8
down
inch.
to 6 and 4-inch on the different pools. I think it's 450 gallons. I think it's what it is. Yeah.
Hour?
No.
Per minute.
Per minute.
Minute?
Yeah, per minute. We do have a flow meter on one of the outlines. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
A different idea?
No, I was just thinking of costs. That'd be pretty minimal for 40 years of experience. I mean, the life of 40 years.
Yeah.
That's
That's what we need.
I don't know what, but I was
Yeah.
just thinking.
His bid for, I mean, public transparency, the bid's $14,980. That includes labor and
Maybe we should
probation.
adjust
to fit it.
take the wages out of it.
Doug's $200 a year.
We need to make a motion to adjust the park and rec budget.
I think you could approve this and then when you actually
Get it?
you could amend
Yeah.
the budget like we do before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's how we did it before.
Yeah.
Yeah, how we did it
That's
there.
how we did it with, yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
basically, we just need to approve this so we can tell Steve to get the words on soon.
Yeah.
As quick as possible.
I mean, I think it would make sense to have it here. Yeah, rather than hoping and waiting.
I'll
No,
move,
and
I'll move we approve the expense for the new pump. As quoted by GCO.
it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion will carry.
See,
Tell him
there's
to,
40 gallons a minute.
40 gallons a minute? Is that what it is?
That's what Google tells me.
That's
40 gallons?
40 gallons per minute through the filter because they're filtering it.
Like 14,000 is an ass ton of money for 40 gallon a minute.
Our pool is,
It's the pump and the installation.
It's none of my business. I'm just listening. I'm a farmer. I'm thinking of all the pumps and things. I'm thinking, wow.
It's got a lot of chemicals in it too. It's probably stainless in there. Man,
Get
fluorine.
maintenance every year.
Huh?
Steve, does that pump get maintenance every year?
no. Nope, it doesn't.
Imagine it's sealed, other than research, maybe.
Yeah.
40 years is a long time.
Yeah.
Doing nothing.
I've been told that it was repacked once. But no, there isn't maintenance on it. But if you know somebody that would like a job,
Got a lot of mechanics out there repack pumps every year. Boiler feed pumps are 50 years old.
Pumping a lot of chlorine.
Huh?
Those boiler pumps are pumping a lot of chlorine.
Well, they pump worse than that.
chlorine is tough.
Thanks, Daryl.
You'll get a
You don't drink it.
Did you guys approve it? Okay, I
All right.
But my plan will not be to replace it. Yeah.
He didn't break it out. He didn't break out the pumps from the labor. That's what I'm thinking Marty said that. Was like 49.80. Two guys. $5 labor.
So you're not at the the summer.
That's a lot of surprise to me.
I think the only thing left is to make the announcement that the next regularly scheduled council meeting is August 8th, right here in the council chambers at 7 o'clock. And with that, we can